Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fighting for Freedom, where I fight, you fight, and together we fight. My name is Davida, alongside my husband. His name is Yaya. We are Fighting for Freedom. Fighting for Freedom is a platform designed for those individuals who are incarcerated to have a place to come to speak, um, talk about your accomplishments, what you've been doing. So we're on every third Sunday at 7:30. I'm sorry, at 7 o'clock. So like, share, and subscribe. Come and join with us. Also live here. I also have my husband. It's the first time he's going to be in on the stream with me doing the podcast. So I welcome him. And we have a very, very special guest for you guys today. We have Mr. Brother Abu Jamal here. I want to thank him for coming on. He is the Grand Master of the Lodge of Wisdom. Thank you again, Brother Abu. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. How are you?
Fine, I had to find the mute button.
It's
I'm
okay.
fine, thank you.
It's okay. It's okay. Welcome. Welcome to Fighting for Freedom. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for joining our show. We really appreciate you. I want to let the guests know this is the first time we've actually had uh, a person on in the stream. Usually our guests are the inmates and they are behind the walls. They are incarcerated. So this is the first time we've had someone on. I'm excited today. So tell us a little bit about you, brother.
Well, first of all, good evening, everyone. Uh, Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to be on this podcast, and I also want to thank Sister Queen Bee for connecting me with y'all. I'm Abu Jamal Manan. I'm the Grand Master of the Lodge of Wisdom, which is a spiritual religious order. And the reason that I'm on this podcast tonight is because we have a support group. We have connections with brothers in the system and a sister. And we also have a support group with the loved ones and family members of the brothers in the system. And on this, we have a personal connection and a personal relationship. Let me rephrase that. We have a personal relationship and a personal connection with each of the brothers and sister that we currently deal with in the throughout the prison systems in the state of Maryland.
Okay. Yeah, is there anything you want to say?
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Walaikum salam, sir.
I say, yeah, what inspired you to start a prisoner support group?
Well, my maternal uncle, who was also my grandmaster, he spent the last 20 plus years in the system. And while he was in the system, he had students that he had students that learned under him. And when he transpired on March 10th, 2017, I became grandmaster. And the brothers in the system started connecting other brothers with me. And it has mushroomed to now totally, we have reached 30 brothers and one sister. We currently deal with, in a positive sense, 22 brothers and one sister. Um, I will say this about my teacher, my maternal uncle, is that he told us he would not die in prison. And if you want to be technical about the situation, he didn't. He died in the hospital. Um, it was 3 to 4 weeks before the administration allowed me and his two sons to see him. We had medical representation and legal representation for him, but the system did what they did close to 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. We saw him on a Thursday. They finally let us see him on a Thursday evening. So we prayed with him and on his behalf. 1 or 2 o'clock that Friday morning, he transpired. So we say that he had enough power, strength, and energy to hold on until we three saw him. And if you want to be technical, he did not die behind prison walls. Yes, he was locked up, but he did not die behind those prison walls. So that's how we have gained this foothold in the prison system. And I must say that the tablets, though they're problematic, the tablet has been instrumental in spreading this word. our support system and what we're doing with the brothers and for the brothers and on their behalf.
Okay, alhamdulillah. I definitely understand that. I say, so what are the main goals or values that your group stand for?
The main emphasis of the larger wisdom and how we operate is that, once again, the personal connection and personal relationship. And each one of these individuals we're dealing with on a personal level, once again, but it's for internal development. It's not spirituality. It's not religiosity. It's totally internal development. And we say that a person has to get together first on the inside before he can help do anything positively on the outside. So that's our main focus and intent is a brother and sister's internal development and growth.
Okay, okay. I say, being that you do or that you all do deal with individuals who are behind the walls. At the same time, do you ever get a chance to collaborate with the families or lawyers or any other organizations pertaining to this?
Yes. Once again, we also created a support group with the family and loved ones of the brothers and sisters in the institutions. So once again, it's predicated on a personal relationship and a personal connection. So I will be talking to the family members, the loved ones, like I talk to you, like I'm talking to y'all. So it's not just okay, we meet once a month and that's it. No, we are intricately connected and trying to address some of the situations that their loved ones and family members are going through in the system.
All right. Hey, I say, if you don't mind, can you share a story or example of someone whose life was positively impacted by your work?
Yes, one of our brothers, I won't mention his name, but he was released in 2023 from WCI. And the brother came out, he's doing good, he's working, he has started his own photography business. You know, he has become a mason in that time. So that's one positive reflection or outgrowth of what we're doing in terms of a brother actually coming out and still sticking with us to do this thing.
Okay.
Wow. That's what's up. That's
Yeah,
definitely
it
what's
is. That's definitely
up.
a great look.
I say, what are the biggest challenges that y'all face in providing support to individuals behind the wall?
Who the biggest challenge? The biggest challenge, brother, sister, and listeners, is to get those on the outside, politicians, community activists and leaders, those that's involved with putting the support to hear our pleas, to hear our cries. And it's a daunting task. It's a daunting task, but we're doing what we have to do on that level. So I guess the biggest thing is to get the word out of what we're doing and how and what we're doing is unique. I've talked to since we've been doing this, I've talked to various groupings throughout the country, and they all say what we're doing is unique. And the uniqueness, once again, is the personal relationship and connection.
Mm-mm. That's what's up, man. I say, are there any legal or institutional barriers that make y'all work more difficult?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I say, are there any legal or institutional barriers that make y'all work more difficult?
Yes, legally. No. Let me put it this way. Legally, in terms of the political structure, the government and stuff like that. It's like we're hitting a brick wall. I mean, no one wants to really assist us in this endeavor. But we know that they want the vote, so they'll come and say, "Well, we'll do this. We'll assist you. We'll look into this matter." But once they're elected, they tend to forget about us. Forget about the brothers and sisters in the system. So that's a big hurdle to get politicians and those individuals as in government to really sink their teeth in and try to adjust some of the injustices that's going on in the system.
Hmm. I know that you say that through letters or through the tablets and stuff, um, that has became a means for you to be able to reach out to brothers and the one sister or whatever that was incarcerated. So with that, what kind of support do you actually or do y'all actually offer to incarcerated individuals?
Well, we try to provide initially with another way of looking at things, another way of assessing life, and we attempt to let them know that yes, you're in this situation, whether you did it or not, that's not our concern. But the point is that a lot of people that we revere, a lot of our ancestors went this same route,
Mm.
and it's nothing wrong um, on one level with being in that situation. And I always refer back to my uncle and my grandmaster, because if it wasn't for him being in that situation, I wouldn't be on this podcast today.
Let me ask a question really quick. So there are many challenges that when the guys come on, we see there are many challenges that they face in there. Trying to stay on the positive side and have a positive outlook. And they are doing some great things in there, and we try to get them to show those things so that when they are released or in pursuit of being released, that they can show their growth, show the things that they've done. How do what you're doing help those guys in there be better in there so that they can be better out here? I heard you say, you say things to them like you're in a situation, but is there something tangible that you can help them do in there to be better when they come out?
Yes. Once again, it's like a one-on-one relationship, and they write their questions, concerns, issues, whatever they be, and I will address them on one-on-one basis. Um,
Who helps you? Who's helping you facilitate all of this?
hmm, Nobody but God.
Oh wow.
Nobody but God. I mean, we have support in terms of making sure that we keep money in our treasure, so we can keep getting out money on the app, so we can mail stuff, make copies and stuff, because
Okay.
they are thirsting for the information that we have. And my grandmaster, he wrote profusely even while he was in there. I have 3 crates of articles and missives and stuff that he's written for the time that he was in the system. And so periodically we will send packets of information to these brothers, and once they read that, then quite naturally they're going to come back with questions, and so we go from there.
Okay. All right, babe. I just had that question.
Oh no, man, what do you mean? It's the same thing. This is fine. I say, so how can others get involved or support your mission?
On the inside or outside,
On the
or both?
outside. I mean, we can deal with on the outside first, and then I ask you about the inside as well.
Well, on the outside, the individuals that we're connected with, once again, they are the loved ones and the family members of our brothers in the system. But once again, the word is getting out, though it's a daunting task, like I mentioned before. Um, and the brothers on the inside, they recommend brothers to us. They know that. Well, let me put it this way: they know what kind of individuals we're looking for, and what I mean by that is that we're looking for individuals that are serious. They want to better their life and their lot, even in that place, and they're willing to do what has to be done, to get a broader understanding, a deeper understanding of what's going on. Because some of these brothers, unfortunately, aren't coming home until they die. So it's also I have to deal with that, or we deal with that in terms of, listen, brother, sister, we understand that you might not be coming out you until you aspire. But the point is, you're still a person, you're still a human being, you still have rights, and you still have values, and you still have things to offer to the greater community, inside the prison and outside the prison. And this podcast is another indication of what I'm saying is that, you know, goodness can be gotten everywhere. Prison is not a quote unquote put you in there, forget about your situation. That's the way it's looked at. That's the way it's perceived. That's the way it's done. But from our perspective, a lot of brothers in the system have knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You know, once again, I can only go back to my teaching.
Okay.
You know, yes.
So we have a question. I want to address the question out and about podcast. They wanted to know a little background on the host and for the first time listeners. So I'll just say really quick, that I'm Davida and my husband, his name is Ndara Yaya. He is in prison. He is at WCI and he wanted to get a platform together for those who are incarcerated just so that they can have a place to speak. A lot of them guys in there haven't spoken to people in the outside world in years. And he's on. So babe, you can answer that question a little more in depth if you like. Out and About podcast just had that question. Babe, I don't know where he went, but so that was his
Oh, I'm sorry, that was on me. He said, "What's the question?" I'm sorry, he was on me.
Oh, he was out and about. Just was like he wanted a little background on the host. I guess me and my husband, and like how this podcast came about and what made us. I'm assuming like bring this together. So I just wanted my husband to give a little bit more insight.
All right, I say you say they call the Out and About.
Yes.
Yeah, good evening, Out and About. I say first and foremost, 30 years ago I was wrongfully convicted for a crime. I was ignorant to the law. I didn't have no understanding of the law. You know what I mean? So I was an easy target. You know what I mean? Coming through the prison at 21, coming into Maryland Penitentiary, it was a different time back then, as far as the way you move, the way you carry yourself. And there wasn't nobody that was around at that moment that was telling me, go to the library or you need to study your case or you need to learn about this or that. Instead, this was a new atmosphere. This was a new life now. So now you got to adapt to this new way of living. So with me being in prison, I did what a lot of people say don't do, which was became lost in prison. I got lost in the system. You know what I mean? I was gang banging. I was caught up in that prison life in every way, which way that, one can imagine, so to speak. You know what I mean? With morals and principles, though. You understand? And as I began to get older, my perception of life began become different. And the things that I started to see life, the way that I started to perceive life, I had to find myself, so to speak, swimming backwards, because a lot of things or opportunities that I had in court was no longer available to me. So I didn't want a lot of people that was in the same type of situation to fall short the way that I did out of ignorance. So that I wanted to give a voice I wanted to become a voice for the voiceless. And here I was going to be that light in that darkness. You understand? So the same way how I educate people in here now is the same way I want to educate people out in society, in greater society, because for sure, people aren't their mistakes.
Right.
And with that, I wanted to think like, well, what can I do? What can I establish? Because when we go to court, or when those that go to court that still can go to court, what the judges see is what they came in there for, which is that paperwork. They don't see the person that matured. They don't see the person that's been groomed into adulthood or into manhood. They don't see the man that the person or the woman that the person has become. They just see the mistake that was made by that individual. So I wanted to give a person an opportunity to speak on their life and let society see who they are now as compared to who they were back then or who the world was trying to look at them as back then. And fighting for freedom came about. You know what I mean? I'm still in my fight, even though, I've exhausted all my rights to everything. I don't have the same rights anymore in court. So my thing is my heart and my sincerity is genuine. And I don't want people to be in the same situation that I'm in. So therefore, a lot of people didn't take the stand when they went to court. So nobody never heard their story. Nobody never heard their side of the case. So out of pride and ego, people was misled as to not tell your story. So therefore, the story that was presented made you look guilty, or even if they wanted to find you not guilty, it was never no side that you presented for the people to find you not guilty. So therefore, I wanted the people to have an opportunity now to speak their piece to society. A lot of times, society say, man, they seeking help. They need help out there. The youth is going crazy. A lot of the adults are still living in ignorance. We are to help because we get a chance to see what y'all don't see out there. And the grooming that we attained in here, we definitely help to bring balance to society out there. So to sum that up, that's why Fighting for Freedom began. To become a voice for the voiceless.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So if anyone else have any questions, please feel free to ask. We're here, but Brother Abu, thank you for giving us that time to explain for those people who needed that. We appreciate you. All right, babe, you can go ahead.
Yeah, Brother Abu, man. I definitely appreciate you, man. I know you say that y'all converse with individuals, through the tablet and stuff. Has it become a time yet that y'all was able to go and actually visit people? Because I know a lot of time in here, visits make a difference as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't really have, loved ones to come and check for them. You know what I mean? Where they can actually, be able to feel human still. You understand? This place is definitely degrading in so many ways. So.
Yes, sir. I'm able to go visit one brother. I've asked other brothers to put me on that list, but I understand that can only be done certain times of the year. But we do that. But I do want to mention, if I may, that when brothers go to court, if they let us know in time, we will have a contingent of supporters there for them in the courtroom. So the mother or the loved ones, they won't be alone. I mean, neither will the brothers be alone. So that helps too. That helps. That eases the tension on them a little bit because they know that they have support. Whereas maybe a few years ago it was just a parent or a loved one, and there was no one around them. So we do that as well.
Okay, yeah, they need that support.
Yeah, absolutely. I say for a lot of the people that you deal with out there from the larger wisdom or from any of the other organizations, I mean, and I know you can really only speak for yourself, but through their actions, do you feel or you believe that, their heart is in the same place as yours, as far as dealing with people under these conditions?
Yes, because once again, the core of the larger wisdom was under my teacher when he was out. Was under my teacher when he was out. So that core still exists. And one thing that but I will say that the brothers in the system, they have been pushing us for for a number of years. The larger wisdom was not legal. But when we made this connection and back in 2017, the brothers have been pushing me and asking me and suggesting and urging that we get legal again so that we can have some type of we can have transition mechanisms in place so that when they come out, they don't lose anything and they still want to be connected. Because we do understand that if there's a gap in that connection, that things can go haywire. And these brothers, they want to be connected to us and with us. And in terms of what some of these brothers have to offer, they will write me poems, letters, lectures, and stuff like that. I will post them on Facebook, so the people know that, hey, brother so and so. I might use a number, I might use a name, I might use a pseudonym. It depends on the understanding me and the brother has, but they don't mind me putting that information out on social media. And with people not knowing that this person is in the system per se, they get good feedback, on social media for the things that we post over the years.
So I heard, I was told that you wrote a book, or you wrote a few books.
Well, I wrote a book called Truth. That was
Mm-hmm.
back in 2009, I believe. The third printing of that particular book prayerfully will be out in the spring of the year. But I will admit, there's a second book in the Truth series called Perceptions of Truth. And I've been putting that out so long that I'm going to change the title to Procrastination.
Procrastination, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I'm a self-published author. I'm a contributing editor in the National Black Unity newspaper, which is it's a melanated newspaper, goes all over the African diaspora. I'm also the director of subscriptions for the National Black Unity newspaper. And for the first time, I have an article in the Be More Flawless magazine, which has a connection to one of our brothers in the system.
Okay. Yeah. That's what's up. That's definitely what's up, man.
Hey, Richard
I applaud
Thornton,
you for that, bro.
Richard Thornton posted and just said peace, and he can speak on the positive influence you've had on his child's life, who is incarcerated. Welcome.
Say
Thanks
that
for
again. I'm sorry.
Richard Thornton wrote that they can speak on the positive influence that you've had on their child's life who is in prison. And I want to thank you for joining us and logging on today. You can go ahead, babe.
Yeah, I say a lot of guys in here, like writing books, and a lot of people on the street doesn't give them the opportunity, or doesn't give them the chance, because of where they are, to publish their books. And there's a lot of people who are in here that are very talented.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Do you think that you all will be open to, some of the individuals that have positive writings to publish their books on their behalf, or help them to get their books and things published?
Absolutely. Yes. We are already posting that stuff on social media already. We're already doing that. So yeah, that's no problem. But let me say this: back on December 27th, 2023, a brother in the system, he wrote me a three text thing on tablet, which turned out to be, for me, confirmation. I was playing confirmation in a minute. But after that, I sent that one piece that the brother sent us. I sent it to all the brothers we had at that time. And those brothers began to send in their confirmations, their reflections, their experiences, this, that, and the other, pertaining to not only me, the Lord of Wisdom, but also our Grandmaster. So now, and the year hasn't, let me see, 23, 24, yeah. So we have close to 45 to 50 testimonies coming in of the benefit of what we're doing and the positive effects. And a lot of times, initially they sent them in saying this was confirmation, or this is what it is. But in their writings, I see other things where they're saying, hey, this is a benefit. This has helped me this way. So I take that from that document, and I put that in another document called testimonies and confirmations from the brothers in the system. That will be either a separate book or a book or a chapter within a book that I'm writing.
Man, that's what's up. I say, I got a question, in the sense of fighting for freedom. That's the series that we have. You know what I mean? And what does freedom mean to you personally?
What does freedom mean to me personally? Freedom to me means personally. That's a good question, brother.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good question. So what it means to me is that a person has a certain degree of growth, maturity, and understanding, and a perspective of universality pertaining to things that makes that person free within himself. Because we know that external freedom is not what you have now, but you also have internal freedom. That's what makes you keep going on. That's what makes you put out fighting for freedom. Because you have because there's a certain degree of internal freedom that you have. And once again, I cannot reemphasize enough for those brothers that knew my teacher. I mean, it was like he didn't care. Meaning he was there, he did what he did, but it didn't get him down to the point, woe is me, all these type of things. So I always have to refer our brothers back to our teacher, especially those brothers that know or knew our teacher. And I say, look at his example. Was he free or was he not? He was free in mind, and that's what counts. I hope I didn't muddy the water, but that's the best way I can explain it.
Babe, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a break, okay? Brother Abu, we're gonna take a break, and we're gonna come right back. I ask everyone to stay on. Give us a few minutes just to take a break and to shout out a few people. The first thing, let's shout out Miss Queen. If anyone has an idea, if you have content, if it's something that you want to share and you have enough of it to spread, please join Black Box Radio family. You can send a email to Miss Queen at blackboxradio at gmail.com. Join the family. We have a good time over here. And again, like, share, and subscribe, guys. Again, we are here every third Sunday at 7:00. If you would like to be a part and come on the show, if you have a loved one who is behind bars, or yourself, if you have something that you want to put out and you're fighting for freedom for something, send us an email. We are at fighting4freedom@myyahoo.com. Send me an email. I can get you out your application, and we can definitely get you on the show. Although we're on every third Sunday of the month, we can definitely fit you in the rotation, and we thank you guys. So we had a question. The question was, if Jesus thought it was wise to forgive man of any sins, who might man be? So
repeat that question, please.
The question was, if Jesus thought it was wise to forgive man of any sins, who might man be? That was the question from Out and About podcast.
Well, if I look at it like this, forgiveness starts with self. Forgiveness starts with self. So if a person does not forgive within themselves first, then the external forgiveness, from my perspective and worldview, it's you just playing a game. Once again, our emphasis is internal development and growth. We realize that everything comes from the inside out. So I mean, in order to love somebody, you have to love yourself first. In order to trust somebody, you have to trust yourself first. So in terms of what the brother said, or what that organization said, it starts with self first. And we don't use that term loosely when we say start with self first, because so many other organizations and people say that, but the proof is not in the pudding. The proof is not in the pudding.
Okay. Jai, play. I'm sorry, I did that wrong. We're going to play the promo. So Jai, go ahead and play the promo, please. I went right into the question. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you guys for sticking around. This is Fighting for Freedom, and we have our wonderful guest, Brother Abu, here with us today, and we'll get right back into the questioning. Sorry about the little mix-up, guys. Welcome back, my husband. He is on as well. Yeah, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Brother Abu, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, welcome back. Thank you for returning with us. Thank you guys for your questions and logging on with us. We really appreciate it. You can go ahead, babe.
Hey, bro. Hey, I say, man, I got big love for you, so I never had you in no goddamn ringer or, you know what I mean? But I was wondering if you could share a moment, when you felt that your freedom or someone else's, was truly at risk.
Repeat that question, please.
I say, can you share a moment with us, when you felt that your freedom or someone else's, was truly at risk? And I'm asking this question just so you know. Like I say, um, I got big love for you, so I never had you in that blender. You understand? But a lot of times, people on the outside say that they understand this side as far as that loss of freedom, or some people take that word lightly. You know what I mean? Freedom. You understand? So I want you to express so that people understand that how people always say, man, I could have been in there too, or I almost was there too, man, or how my lifestyle was, I could have ended up in there, or this, that, and another. Fortunately, or by the permission of God or by His mercy, He prevented me from going that way or whatever. You know what I mean? So I want people to see you being able to relate to us from in here as we still relate to y'all out there, so that people see there's no difference between us and y'all.
Well, I live under the threat every day of winding back up in there. How much more real can you get?
Hey man, it is what it is. You already know. I ain't hey, that's good
And,
enough
and,
for me.
the,
Yeah.
and the threat comes from what we're doing. It's nothing. It's
Yeah.
nothing physical or anything like that. In terms of being against the society, in terms of breaking the laws, it's just the point of what we're doing. It creates friction with the government. I mean, once again, I go
So
back to the politicians. We've met several state delegates, city councilmen, and stuff like this. Those ones that say that, yeah, we for prisoners' rights and all this type of stuff, and then we don't hear back from them. We don't hear back from 'em.
right, man, trust me, I get it. There's many letters that we send out from here that fall on deaf ears, or what I mean. There's many things that we try to have our families or loved ones reach out to the people out there, man, and it's as if we don't even exist. Like we just on a daggone recording or something. And people hate recordings out there. You feel me? So I get it. I mean, so in your view, what are the biggest threats to freedom today? Locally and globally.
Man himself.
Man himself, yeah, I'm doing
Man
that.
himself.
Yeah,
Once
yeah,
again,
that.
once again, our emphasis is internal development, growth, and maturation. From our perspective, if a person is not striving to better themselves internally, then you are your own you are your own enemy. But let me put it to you like this: a lot of times people go from the Bible and say, "Lean out on your own understanding," but I use the same Bible and I come with, "And all I get and get understanding." There's a distinct difference, you know. Society, generational trauma, the systemic racism that goes on in this country, especially as it relates to our family, our melanated family. But that's only part of the problem.
Right.
They're not responsible wholeheartedly for our condition, nor are we responsible wholeheartedly for our condition. But somewhere we had to play into that dynamic. So once again, from our perspective, man is his own worst enemy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely agree in so many ways with that, man. I mean, like they say, man, where there's no growth is death, man. You know what I mean? And in our own ignorance and in our own selfishness or ungratefulness, you know what I mean? We die, man. We dying off. But I say, what role does activism, protest, or civil disobedience play in protecting freedom?
All those are stages and addressing the situation, prayer to get redress. Whatever you do, it starts off in stages. So if the stage happens to be protest or whatever the case may be, that's the stage we at. If it happens to be the stage where we just talking on the podcast right now, that's the stage we at. I mean, but these things come in stages, and it starts off with one or two people, or one or two dissatisfied people, and mushrooms like we're doing now.
Yeah. I say, what freedoms do people often take for granted, and why is it dangerous to do so?
What freedoms do people take for granted?
Just about all of them.
Brother, you already know what I'm gonna say. They take everything for granted.
They do. They do everything.
Well, look at it this way: they take everything for granted. And how can I say that? Because if they didn't, we might not be on this podcast tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So they say you don't miss your water till your well run dry.
Yeah. So people.
So
We,
if you could change one law, policy, or mindset to expand freedom, what would it be and why?
what else can a person ask for but civil rights and human? But forget civil rights. What else can a person ask for but human rights? To be treated as an equal, to be respected regardless of your views, and to live in peace and harmony. Human rights, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's so crazy because we deprived of them daily. You know what I mean? This stuff's different, man. This stuff is different. Oh man. Mm-mm-mm.
And
I
just to
say since
elaborate on that, to elaborate out in a little bit, in so many of the rights that we are being restricted from, and because we're human, and like Brother Abu said before, we are our own worst enemy. Some of those things we do to ourselves, unfortunately, we do. We do to ourselves. So you got to do better. We have to do better. But go ahead, babe.
yeah, it's fine. Have you faced any backlash or resistance in your efforts? If so, how did you overcome it?
The backlash is the politicians and those people that are in positions that can make change, or at least put bills and things in place to powerfully affect change. Um, brother, it's a shame, man.
Yeah, they don't want to see us grow. They don't want to see us get ahead. They want us down. They want literally to George Floyd all of us if they could. So um, we have to stick together. We have to continue to do what we're doing in spite of, and make the reasons that they don't want us to do it the power that gives us that we need to do it.
Well, here's the thing about sticking together. Once again, we use that word religiously. We need to get together. We need to do this. We need to do this, that, and the other. They are correct. But the point is, how do you do it? That's the question. How? How do you do that? I mean, we know we need to get together. We know we need to stick together. We know we need to be a unified force. But how do you do that?
So so how do you stay hopeful and motivated when progress feels slow or setbacks occur?
Brother and sisters and listeners, I took an oath to do what I'm doing now until I get up out of here. Whether one person comes this way or sees it or we're able to help somebody or not, we're going to be judged for our motives and our intentions. We're not responsible for the outcomes per se. That's in the supreme being's hands.
Right.
We're responsible for doing what we do. I mean, this is like saying that people be saying, well, don't talk abrasive, or you got to be kind to, or talk like this. That stuff does not matter.
Right.
Well, if you talk to them kind, or you don't talk to them abrasively or arrogantly, and then they still don't listen. I mean, a lot of things we just hear and it goes in our ears and out the other. It has no real significance. Because once again, if it had real significance, we might not be talking about this.
Right.
And what gives me hope, once again, is that I know that the majority of people, prophets, saints, and apostles, that the majority of mankind say that the supreme being sent to the earth for these diseased hearts of man, and look what they did to them. So who am I?
Right.
I'm just Abu Jamal. And if they did that to the grandest people
Who are we?
if they did that to them, then who am I? So I take, once again, I draw strength from that.
Right.
I that's my comfort zone, because I know that I'm not by myself. I know what these people went through. That's what history tells me. So when I go through it, when we go through it, does it knock me down sometimes? Yes. Does it make me frustrated? Yes. But what do? I get up, I pull my tail from between my legs, I dust myself off, and keep on getting up.
Yeah. Well, it is almost time for this show to come to an end. We want to make sure we answer everyone's questions. Ja, you said there was another question that someone asked. Wait a minute. Oh no. Okay. So I want to thank you guys for coming on, Brother Jamal. It was an absolute blessing. It was great that you came on the show. I appreciate you. Is there anyone that you want to shout out before we go?
No, not necessarily shout out, but I will convey the gist of what was shared here today. I'll share it with the brothers in the system. And I do know that some of the parents and loved ones and some of the brothers in the system would like the opportunity to speak on your podcast. I do know that.
Okay. And
Yes.
again, the email for Fighting for Freedom is fighting4freedom at myyahoo.com. It's important to put that myyahoo.com on there, and get me their information or their loved ones, and also if is anyone on the outside that want to come on too. Babe, do you have a last question you want to ask Brother Jamal?
Yeah, bro, I say, what legacy do you hope to leave behind in the struggle for freedom?
That I and we did our little part, and that somebody was helped by us. That's all we can ask for. That we did our little part. We stayed in our lane, and we were able to help one or two brothers, or at least our motives and intentions were pure towards that endeavor.
Right.
But people know. I mean, outside of the politicians, they know too. They know what's going on. They know what we're doing. And the brothers on the inside and the sister on the inside, they know what's going on now. So something's getting ready to happen.
Right. They're going to see us. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Spread the word to get this thing moving. And like Brother Abu said, they know we here. They're going to see us. They're going to hear us. Babe, you want to take us
out? Hold up. Before I do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Brother Jamal, thank you, man, for showing up, man. I mean, it's not easy, getting people, to support or to get involved with this side of the wall. You know what I mean? I know they have different organizations and stuff out there now like time, no struggle, no success, high hopes. And I definitely applaud them for all of their efforts, man, because they definitely moving and getting powerful things done, man. So to know that we got another person on the team, man, that's helping out, helping brothers get second chances and another chance at life or another opportunity at life now, you know, is definitely a blessing, man. And God, like Allah say, you never know what place your help gonna come from. You know what I mean? So, I sincerely thank you, man, for speaking out, for letting it be known. You know what I mean? That you one of the ones that's on the outside that's speaking on the behalf of those that's on the inside.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I can be reached at Lodge of Wisdom, LODGEOFWISDOM @gmail.com. The name is Abu Jamal. I can be reached at AbuJamal @gmail.com.
I'm saying with that, it wraps up tonight's episode of Fighting for Freedom. Whether you're behind the mic, behind bars, or behind the scenes, your voice matters. We stand in solidarity with those who fight for justice, dignity, and liberation every single day. If you were moved by what you heard, share this episode, support a local prisoner advocacy group, or simply start a conversation. Change begins with awareness, and awareness begins with you. So until next time, stay bold, stay compassionate, and keep fighting for freedom. That's all.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. You're welcome. You're more than welcome.